Okay, the time is being adjusted as we go. So I've been asked to look a little bit at the future, how I see the future of peace building as we look forward. And the first thing I want to speak about is to say, don't worry about it, we've only just begun. Okay, we have been learning war for centuries, for thousands of years. If you look at the history of peace building in a coherent form, it's only been in the last really 3-4 decades that we've been really trying to develop this. So there's always been initiatives, but as a coherent understanding about this. And really we need to commit to a much longer term. So of learning and figuring things out and taking research, whether it's from Rwanda, learning about that, feeding that information back into the system. So we're a young people. We started off hugely naive. I mentioned this morning, when I came into this work in 1971, long time before many of you were born, we thought Northern Ireland would have been solved in about 6 months. So, naivety at the outset, and we're still naively optimistic. And by that I mean hope carries forward. So what different forms do I see ourselves playing, myself, and the other people that I'm aware of in the field? I suppose one of the things that I think we need to continue to do is work on the theoretical understanding about what we're doing. And there's lots of interesting work out there, and some of you may be helping lead in that work in the future. Some of the cutting edge elements that I'm aware of and trying to understand and trying to draw on from the, if you like, theoretical understandings is actually, at its the most simple part, the biology of conflict. What role and function this has. If we just think of conflict as a social construct, then we are really deeply naive. There is a really strong role and function at a biological level. And that will also take us into some additional areas which will be challenging in the sense of some of the political history that we have gone through over the last 40 years. And that is going to be in and around the issue of the difference at gender, the gender difference between entering into, maintaining and exiting conflict. Because there's plenty of evidence, and probably your own direct experience, of men and women at different times taking different approaches to this. At one end, maybe taking a quick scan of the room, but certainly even the room I was working in this afternoon, women are often at the heart of the peace-building, peacemaking processes. And we need that leadership from you. We need you to continue to build out that leadership. And the men also need to begin to really develop out other ways of understanding their role and function and what their possibilities are. But that does not mean that as I have witnessed in my own life, that men are the violent ones and women are the peacemakers. We need to get a much more sophisticated development about that. I have witnessed women spitting on a dying soldier. It's not true that women are always the peacemakers, but you can, and we need you to lead out. So I think the role of women is going to be critical. On another approach, we need a bit more fun in this. I know that you know there are soap operas and so forth, but if we do this with a big serious face all the time, you know, we're going to bore everybody to death. That's not going to be very exciting. Okay, and if the media can sell us complete rubbish in about a minute on the TV, and we can't sell compassion and peace and living with a sustainable planet, living sustainably on the planet, we don't deserve to be in the responsibilities that we've got. We're going to have to step up into this, but we're going to have to really take something from the learning of the opposition, perhaps, because they know how to sell us the hard stuff. Let's take, how does that work? And let's start to build up on that. So we're going to need new approaches, and they need to be creative, they need to be inspirational, and they need to target you in our real lives. They need to speak to our real lives. One of the ways that we're going to do that in the future is going to be through what we call creative learning. Now, there's the arts, but also just helping people use different parts of their brain. I'm not just talking about what I was saying before, the biology, but we need to open up and inspire other parts of our brain to get creative about problem solving. So we need to get clever about our programs, we need to get inspirational about our programs, and they need to be engaging, and if you want to call that fun. They also need to be challenging. Young men in Northern Ireland today are being pulled back into paramilitary organisations because they offer them focus and purpose. They offer them focus and purpose. We need to give young people focus and purpose to a world that they believe they can impact. Some naive hope that it's all going to be nice out there will not make it. So we need to re-embrace areas and look at areas around, we call it adventure learning, where risk is built in to the activity and focused on. And many of us out there in the outdoor industry, other industries know about that. We need to pull them into the work. We of course need the global, but the saying of think global, act local is going to be critical, because it's going to be your neighbourhoods, it's going to be where this is built out from. And in your neighbourhoods, and within your neighbourhood, it's your family. We can't go down this road without the family going with us. The family is at the building block of community. You cannot be serious about community if you're not serious about family. So I think we're going to see that really coming through. With reference to where I have the privilege of standing today, the universities, not just from a theoretical point of view, but calling people forward into apprenticeships, into internships. Now, what do I mean by that? I am speaking to the university professors or academics in the hall. I am a little bit fed up with young men and young women coming out with master's degrees who know lots but can do very little. We need to engage the apprenticeship. We need to engage the skills building along with the knowledge. It isn't that we don't need the knowledge, but knowledge without application means those of us who are out there looking for those people are having to start from scratch to build up the skills. You need to be delivering them to us with some competence and confidence. And to do that, you need to rediscover what I call apprenticeship. You need to have people learning from people and getting the mistakes wrong at the early day. Because when we get it wrong in the field, in the more serious situations, people die. So and I know there are lots of young people out there, so let's get the internships and the apprenticeships back. Let's get people learning from each other. Finally, what's my role in this? hopefully to become a kind of grandfather and disappear quietly into the night. But I'm up, and I'm looking forward to the journey of the next 10 years, if I'm allowed to see that next 10 years through. Because I'm surrounded by, and particularly young people, who are looking up and beyond consumerism, and beyond the next iPad, and beyond the next piece of consumer, and realizing that if we don't start building collaboratives, working together, it's going to get worse. And it's going to get a lot worse. We are not playing at this. If you take any of the current trajectories that are out there in terms of community, society, the planet, the directions, the trajectory is not in the right direction. It's going in the wrong direction. We need people to stand up, we need to slow it down, and we need to inspire and bring people forward. So we need to step up. So I'm looking forward to being energized by young people, open to learning, prepared to challenge, question, and push the boundaries so that you can become my teachers. Thank you very much.